What's up, Rose family? So in today's video, my partner's going to be talking about the goddess Isis. So let's get tuned into it.
All right. Well, for starters, we want to know Isis is a very ancient deity, and she can be worshipped alone, which is very interesting when dealing with Egyptian gods, because usually they come in a trio. They have families.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you look at the god Amun-Ra, you know, he has a wife, Mut, which means mother, and he has a son, Khonsu, or Kinsu, which is the moon god. But Isis, although she has a trio of Osiris, Isis, and Horus, when you get to later periods in history, the Roman periods and the Greek periods, you see Isis being so popular that she is often worshipped alone. Now, you have to have a very powerful deity to even have a sense of monotheism. You know, that means you have to cover all things that the rest of the gods cover. You know, we had messenger gods for a reason. Mm-hmm. We had storm gods for a reason. We had rain gods for a reason. We had love goddesses or gods for a reason. So for one to be worshipped alone, that means she is the embodiment of all that. Mm-hmm. And so that's why when you look at the history of Isis, especially in ancient Egypt, she is merged with all the goddesses, okay, including Sekhmet. Okay, so you have Isis Sekhmet, you have Isis Neith, you have Isis Tyrt, you have Isis Het-Heru or Isis Hathor. You even have what we call Isis Aphrodite. Okay, and so that says a lot, but there is deeper science in Isis that a lot of people might look over, and we don't want to do that. We want to understand the power of her magic. Mm-hmm. So she is called Hekaweret, which is it means great of magic. And she's not the only one with that title, but she is by far the most powerful goddess in ancient Egypt when it comes to magic, because she was taught magic by the god Chehudi, or you may find him under the name of Thoth. Thoth. She was taught magic by him. And in some Greek versions of the Egyptian text, Chehudi or Thoth is her father. Okay? And so he taught her two forms of magic. He taught her Heka, which is to invoke one's spirit. But he also taught her Aku, which is dealing with the dead. Okay, the dead, the spirits of the Duat, which is the Egyptian underworld. So Isis can do Heka and Aku. Okay, now, a lot of people, when they are venerating the great mother or the divine feminine, they only highlight the womb, which is cool until you have goddesses like Isis. Yes, she is a mother. Yes, she is the great mother. But she is most importantly the power of the mind and the power of the words. That is the true Isis. There is life and death in the tongue, much like the womb. There is life and death in the tongue. You can speak things into existence. You can speak things into destruction. You can speak life into people, like Isis resurrected her dead husband with her words of magic. Okay? But you can also kill people with your words. Okay? And so Isis is understanding this. Okay? Now, a lot of people want to negate key elements of Isis, and particularly her being venerated as a virgin. Now, she is not just a virgin goddess, because she obviously gets her freak on. Isis got her freak on in the womb. Okay, a lot of people don't know that. When Osiris and Isis were still in the womb of their mother, they fell in love then. And they got their freak on and therefore gave birth to Horus the Elder, I'm not talking about Horus, the son of Isis, or Heru Sa Aset, right? Which you know as the embodiment of the king, or the one that avenges Osiris when he dies, and the most popular form of Heru. We're not talking about him. We're talking about Horus the Elder, which is the oldest form of Horus, okay, which is the brother / son of Osiris and Isis, okay, and